often with markets on a technical basis, they'll kind of flirt with a moving average, and people will make a knee-jerk reaction and say, oh, it closed below it today, so I'm going to sell everything, and then the market reverses and goes right back up again. Here's what you need to know before the bell this morning. We talked about yesterday that the S&P 500 had broken that 50-day moving average just a little bit. And we said by Friday, it has to get back above that 50-day moving average to negate that break of the 50. Because it's often, often with markets on a technical basis, they'll kind of flirt with a moving average, and people will make a knee-jerk reaction and say, oh, it closed below it today, so I'm going to sell everything, and then the market reverses and goes right back up again. And that happens sometimes. So what you're looking for is a clear break of that 50-day moving average. That probably happened yesterday. Yesterday's close to the downside gave us a pretty good break of that 50-day moving average. So still, if the market can somehow reverse today and tomorrow, rally, get back above that 50-day moving average, that'll negate this break. But most likely now, we are now set up in a position. Market is oversold here on a short-term basis. So a bit of a rally back to the 50-day moving average that fails is probably going to set us up for that retest of the 100-day moving average, which is a little bit lower here. So again, nothing really to be concerned about at all. In fact, we've talked about this before, is that this is a fairly normal correction within any kind of given bull market rally, and particularly one that we've had. And if you just go back and kind of look ever since last October, we've had some fairly decent corrections along the way of this bullish trend. That hasn't really changed. So we had a very big move over the first 5 months of this year. And again, that big move from February, March, April, May, June, July, that rally, that 5-month rally needed to take a break here. So that's what's happening. We're going to get kind of an opportunity where moving averages are catching up to the market. Prices are coming down towards the moving averages, so those are converged at some point. We find some support. Buyers come back into the markets. Again, a lot of the underlying data still seems to be okay. Earnings have been okay this year. They've have met or beaten estimates for the most part. We're now through that part of the earnings cycle. Today, Walmart reported their earnings, and so we're they're kind of one of the last retailers to actually kind of report their earnings. We've still got Nvidia on the 23rd. That's the other big kind of mega cap stock in the index we're waiting on. But overall, earnings have been okay. That's going to give some support to the markets. One thing that's kind of weighing on markets right now, of course, is a little uptick in rates over the last couple of days because of concerns over the Fed needing to hike rates and inflation. Not surprising, kind of getting a knee-jerk reaction of interest rates ticking up. That, of course, weighing on the market as well, particularly financials, utilities, those type of things. So we're seeing some pressure there. But again, nothing alarming about this correction. It was needed. We talked about it for almost a month in July that we needed a correction. 3 to 5 to 10% could certainly be the case. We're getting that correction now. This will be an opportunity probably to put some money to work here. Now, certainly things could change. And if we begin to break this bullish trend that started back in October, we'll have a different conversation to talk about. But for right now, bullish trend remains intact. Everything is doing exactly what you would expect normally. This has been a very orderly correction from the peak of the market. So again, nothing at this point to really worry about. It was a needed correction, still in that process. Probably an opportunity to selectively and opportunistically buy some of those positions you've been wanting to add since earlier this year. Now you're getting an opportunity to do that. That's what you need to know before the bell this morning.